Blame game, and you've heard the AAP suggesting that it was all due to the fact that Moosewala's staff slipped up. Now, how did AN-94s, lethal weaponry, in a previous case, rocket launchers, get into the hands of viewers, antisocial elements? No answers. How is it that this entire conspiracy hatched by gangs suddenly surfaces in minutes or hours of Moosewala's killing? If everyone knew, in fact, that he was a marked man, why was his security cover decreased to the point that made him vulnerable? What were the calculations that went in? If there was so much detail about the interlinkages of gangs working in Punjab, how is it that no action has been taken against those who were orchestrating all these plots? These are some fundamental questions. There's several more, of course, viewers, as we go along. But let's throw this open. Anil Sareen, Chief Spokesperson of the BJP of Punjab, is with us. Professor DK Giri, a political analyst, Colonel RSN, national security expert, and, of course, someone who has served in the RNAW and knows a thing about border-sensitive states. Now, I want to first bring in Professor DK Giri. Professor Giri, what exactly is happening in Punjab? Is it really out of control, the situation there, specific with regards to law and order? Unprecedented scale of violence over the last few weeks.
Yes, Rahul, you yourself said that there is definitely an international conspiracy which has been proved to target Punjab. So if it is international conspiracy, the union government also should be very alert. But it is certainly sad that the situation has deteriorated to this extent. And I was telling yesterday in your channel, like someone say, every death diminishes me, and the person who has been murdered yesterday, the whole state
Who's
and all of us are grieving for it.
Who must take,
if we are talking
Professor Giri, who must take account for this?
I was coming to that. Yes. Yeah, it would be, you see, it would be the union government and the state government both. Punjab is a border state, a very sensitive state. You cannot leave it to the state government. State government alone cannot manage it.
Okay.
And secondly, like you yourself said, he did not take the security with him.
No, I just want to make it clear, Professor Saab, I just want to make it very clear that this is, I am only quoting what the police, no, give me 30 seconds. Professor, I just want to make it clear, maybe you misunderstood. I was only quoting what the police have said. Now, these are all claims that the police has made. Whether it's an international conspiracy, yes, there is an individual who claims to have hatched it, settled in Canada for all ostensible purposes. He claims to have carried out this targeted assassination. Everyone knew that there was a rivalry between these gangs, etc. And you are saying that at this moment, you can't just pin the blame on the state government as the BJP has been trying to do. Mr. Sareen, you're the chief spokesperson of the Punjab BJP. Do you agree with Professor DK Giri?
Let me just give one sentence, Rahul.
Yes.
One sentence. If it is international, then union government comes in.
Okay.
If it is international, you know that you see, state government can manage the state.
Okay.
You know it. This international affairs is in the state. In the
international
hands of
affairs means central government. Yes, Anil Sareen, how do you respond?
Absolutely.
First of all, we all condemn that incident that happened yesterday, and we lost Sidhu Moose Wala. It's very unfortunate that since our government took over, the situation is worsening day by day. Law and order situation is at, you can say, to be very, very grave. And the most unfortunate part is that the Chief Minister is mum on all these issues. He's just shouting from the top, but doing practically nothing on the ground. He has become a puppet in the hands of Delhi.
No, when you say nothing, what do you mean exactly? Please elaborate on when you say nothing, because the last we checked, there have been several arrests, etc. And the Aam Aadmi Party is saying that, look, in Delhi, when they are shooting, there are no arrests, no one is ever apprehended. Here, look how much work we've done. So how do you respond to that?
Can you tell me, have they solved any of this single death case, this murders taking place, almost more than 70 murders have taken place in these 70 days. Have they solved even a single one? Just saying from the rooftop that, yes, we have done this. They are fooling the people. People are not fools. They should understand this. One thing very clear. Just tell me, what is the purpose of withdrawing these 434 people's security? And that, now take a look at this government, what they are doing. They have released a confidential letter written, released by the internal letter released by the security forces that such and such person's security has been reduced. There is written secret, confidential on the letter. And who is releasing that letter? Mukhyamantri, Mr. Bhagwant Mann. Who is releasing that letter?
Okay. Professor Giri, quick response. I want to bring in Colonel RSN Singh right after that. Yes.
Sure, just one question. You know, it takes time to find out who has done it. Have we found out who carried out the Pulwama attack of our security forces? Can the BJP answer it? Who has done it years ago? It's now 4 years. And the gentleman is saying, have they found out any of the murders? It's not that easy.
No, the Pulwama conspiracy, the hand behind it has been identified. People have even been arrested, Professor Giri. But 1 minute, let me bring in Colonel RSN. Colonel RSN,
well,
there is a massive upping of the violence quotient in Punjab. A, why is it happening? B, who's to account for it? And are we today in a situation where the situation in Punjab is spiraling out of control?
But I think that was always expected. At least I did expect it. And, you know, you're attributing it to the, criminal gangs. But criminal gangs, drug mafia, jihadis, ISI, the entire ISI network and Khalistanis. I mean, you can't divorce any of them from this affair, So therefore, it becomes an internal security problem. Now, exactly, very appropriately, somebody said that, yes, international angle has to be investigated by, the central agencies. Of course, it has to be done. But I'm sorry to say what impression I got, and I always expected this, that it is some sort of megalomaniac. I find all these guys totally megalomaniac. You start using Punjab the moment it comes to power. This man sitting in Delhi starts using the Punjab police as if it is his personal, army. I mean, imagine, some poet being raided someday, some activist, political activist being raided someday. And I'm telling you, a situation will come when the police, Delhi police or say UP police or any other police will be pitted against Punjab police. So here is a man whom I'm dealing with, who himself said that he is an anarchist. And I don't see there is a difference between an anarchist and a terrorist. We are dealing with a man who is at the helm of affairs, who threatened the Republic Day parade as the chief minister of a state. We are dealing with a man who supported, in whose presence a man was, a farmer was, hanged, right in full public view. We are dealing with a man who said that Butler House encounter is false. We are dealing with a man who was very active in Shaheen Bagh. We are dealing with a man who supported this.
Okay, there are a lot of allegations being made. Colonel RSN. But I asked you to flesh out.
I'm only speaking the truth. If any of my facts are wrong, tell me. I'll stop myself.
No, I don't know, because as far as I'm concerned, these are allegations and claims. No problems with that. You can make them. Everyone's free to make them. But
I'm not taking any names. I'm not taking any
you're not making. Okay, you're not taking any. I just want to get to the bottom of this. Colonel RSN, I just want to ask you, because this is something that's going to come up, the international dimension, etc., etc. Are we at a point where the situation is Punjab now is slipping out of control? That's the question I want to ask you. Or with a little bit of vigilance, with a little bit of policing, etc., a little more time in office, these situations will get resolved?
No, I operated in Punjab, in the 90s decades and whole of 90s and a bit of 80s. And the only difference, the big difference I find since then is, one is this narcotics angle, and this, this the seamlessness between Canada and India. Of course, those days, you had all these, Jagjit Singh Chauhan and jokers like that, all these Khalistani. But I have never seen this kind of, nexus. I mean, this Khalistani nexus, this seamless nexus, political as well as, terrorist nexus between Canada and Punjab that I'm seeing today. Loads of people coming for the elections, money coming, people coming, sitting dharna and farmers protest. One joker prime minister, one joker minister, he's a minister in Canada sitting here on Singhu border. Somebody's hands being hacked on the border. I mean,
this is an issue. And this must be raised. With the Canadian authorities, this needs to be raised. No country can provide refuge to individuals who are targeting across the international sphere another country. Viewers, that's a big problem. Colonel R.S. Sen speaking his mind today, as he always does. Sure. I'm taking a quick break. We are right back with big news. Stay with us. Don't go away.